it won't be too long and try not to be too boring. But I will get started now. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time boring you with the details about me, but I do want to at least give you a sense of what I've been working on for the last 6 years. In 2014, I co-founded Meter Genius with a fellow Northwestern graduate. With Meter Genius, our focus was on how to make people more energy efficient. Our goal with the company was to make it fun and make it interesting for people to use less electricity. So we built web and mobile apps for electricity companies to provide to their customers to help them become more energy efficient. We actually built apps for ComEd, you may have used them, and other electricity suppliers throughout the United States. And people loved the apps that we were building, but they didn't always love their electricity company. And we found that as our users engaged with these apps, they actually wanted to learn more about energy efficiency, and they wanted to do more to support renewable energy. But we were really limited as to what we could offer by our clients, the energy companies, because they weren't always willing to do that. They weren't always willing to help their customers support renewable energy or use less electricity, especially if that was their business model to sell electricity. And that's why we decided to launch Hero Power in 2018. Now, Hero Power is a renewable electricity supplier, and I'll talk more about Hero Power later, but I want to let you know that we are now the only electricity company that has access to the Meter Genius apps. So we took all the knowledge and all the tech that helps people save energy with the Meter Genius apps, and we've coupled that with a way to support renewable energy at the same time. And then last summer, my brother Brock and I launched a podcast covering climate change news called The Climate Pod. And that's actually where I first met Larry and Melissa, because Melissa was a guest on our live show in Chicago in November. And Larry was just a guest on our show last week. We've also had Tamara Tools O'Laughlin. She's there on the bottom left. She's the North America director of 350.org. We've also been fortunate enough to have several other activists, academics, journalists, politicians like Illinois Representative Sean Casten. And then we've even had some celebrities like Ted Danson, Ed Begley Jr., and former Cubs manager Dusty Baker. Now the climate change, sorry about that. Now we know, and I don't have to tell you all this, because I'm sure you're fully aware, but renewable energy was on a roll prior to just a couple months ago. Renewable energy generation has doubled in the last decade, due in large part to support from the federal government, which has made renewable energy generation cheaper. Back in 2009, during that recession, President Barack Obama's administration included $90 billion for renewable energy in that economic stimulus package, ensuring that we'd come out of that recession with a path toward more clean energy. And consumer preferences have changed a lot too. And so much of that is a direct result of the advocacy work that groups like 350 are doing to highlight the climate crisis and describe exactly why we're in the situation that we're in and what we need to do to combat it. Brock and I, as well as my co-founder, Hero Power, we were at the climate strikes last year, I guess. And it was fantastic. It was so incredible to be able to see everyone come together in support of combating climate change. And it really seemed like we just had there's a lot of great momentum last year coming into 2020. 2020 seemed like it was going to be the year when everything changed. And unfortunately, everything did change. And all that momentum that the clean energy movement had been building really over the last decade was halted as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The clean energy industry alone lost over 100,000 jobs in March. And unlike the 2009 recession, this administration doesn't seem to want to help fund or help clean energy companies at all during this very trying time. Instead, they've actually change the small business funding rules to make it easier for oil and gas companies to get financial support from the pandemic relief funds. And residential solar has been one of the hardest hit areas because so much of the residential solar sales process relies on in-person conversations. And it's not just, it's just not impossible to do that right now. And even when things go back to normal or somewhat normal, whatever the new normal is, the consumers may be wary of letting someone into their home to talk through the solar buying process. And that's why residential solar installations are expected to drop by 40% this year in 2020. And that's just unheard of. We've had such, year-over-year increases in residential solar installations. So it's the first year in 3 decades to have lower solar generation than the year before. And we know that we cannot afford to take a step back. Not when we still have so far to go and so little time to get there. We've got to get to 100% renewable energy by 2030. That's a goal shared by anyone that wants to see us, reduce our carbon emissions and keep under that, 1.5 degree Celsius mark. And that's less than 10 years from now. Unfortunately, renewables currently make up 17.5% of our electricity production. And I said earlier, things were going well last decade, and we doubled renewable energy generation in the last decade. But we need to quadruple renewable energy generation in this upcoming decade. And we're starting with the deck stacked against us. So we really, really need to get going here on renewable energy generation. Now, if you haven't seen the video that Dr. Leah Stokes put together for GRIST, check that out. Follow Dr. Leah Stokes too. She's an incredible Twitter follow. But she discusses in that video that in order for us to meet our goal of 100% renewable energy by 2030, we need to do both generate more renewable energy, obviously, but also use less energy overall. So funding renewable energy and becoming more energy efficient are both critical, and that's exactly what Hero Power wants to help people do. As I mentioned in the introduction, we've combined our energy efficiency app with 100% renewable energy to make it easy for anyone to become a climate hero and drastically lower their carbon footprint. Now, how do we do this? Well, Illinois, we are lucky because we live in one of 13 states where consumers can actually choose their electricity supplier. When you switch away from ComEd, nothing physically happens. ComEd still maintains the electricity wires, your service doesn't change, your lights, they look the same. You even keep paying ComEd every month for your electricity. What does change though is who's responsible for purchasing electricity on your behalf and where they purchase that energy from. So the first product that Hero Power launched was the Clean Energy Program, which is an electric supply choice. It means that after you spend just 2 minutes it takes to join Hero Power's Clean Energy Program, we become responsible for your electricity supply. And in addition to buying that electricity, we also match 100% of your electricity consumption with renewable energy certificates. And the best part is we charge the exact same rate as ComEd, always and forever. So you never have to pay more for supporting clean energy. So you may ask, and we get this question all the time, how are you able to offer the same rate if you're pairing this with renewable energy certificates? Well, we purchase electricity from a market, just like ComEd does. We do not buy directly from ComEd. That's a common misconception. And like I said, in addition to that electricity, we buy the renewable energy certificates, enough to match 100% of our customers' electricity use. We actually buy those renewable energy certificates from Osage Wind Farm. There's a picture of one of their wind turbines right here. So if you sign up for Hero Power, or if you are a Hero Power customer, you can see that's exactly where your money's going. And even though we purchase the electricity and the RECs, we're still able to make a slight profit by selling that electricity and RECs at the ComEd rate back to Hero Power customers. Now, we don't make as much of a profit as other electricity suppliers, but that's because Hero Power's goal is to be more than an electricity supplier. You see here at the top, it says phase one. The clean energy program really is phase one of our business model. And in this phase, we're building a community that cares about supporting renewable energy. We don't only want to make this an option for wealthy people or people that can afford to pay more for renewable energy. We want to make this an option for anyone that wants to support renewable energy. And by building up a large customer base, it helps us launch phase two, which I'll discuss in a minute. But right now, Hero Power's clean energy program makes it easier and more affordable than ever to support renewable energy. And you can go online, you're on your computer right now while I'm talking. I really don't care if you tune me out. And you can join Hero Power in less than 2 minutes. And that's actually faster than 2 minutes if you have your ComEd account number with you. Most people don't have it with them at the time, but you can go online, go onto ComEd's website or go find your ComEd bill and your account number's there. And when you do join Hero Power, you'll be supporting renewable energy every single time you pay your electricity bill, and you will not be paying any more for it. So what does that mean? What does that mean that you're supporting renewable energy, that Hero Power is a renewable energy supplier? Well, it's physically impossible to send clean electricity to your home. Once electricity hits the grid, the electrons become indistinguishable from each other. But renewable energy certificates make it possible to send money to renewable energy generators. Renewable energy certificates, or RECs, were created to reward generators for the environmental benefits created by clean energy. Vox's David Roberts put it this way. He said, you can think of renewable energy certificates as the mirror image of a carbon tax. Rather than putting a negative value on carbon emissions, RECs put a positive value on clean generation. So RECs provide additional revenue to renewable energy generators that's in addition to the electricity sales. And these renewable energy generators, the solar farms, the wind farms, they count on this additional revenue stream when they're determining the financial viability of a given renewable energy generation project, like maybe a new wind turbine. So every time a generator produces a megawatt hour or 1,000 kilowatt hours of electricity from one of these renewable sources, they're issued one REC. The generators then sell these RECs on a market, and electricity companies will buy RECs in order to meet state-mandated renewable portfolio standards. So in Illinois, the requirement is 6%. So that's why ComEd purchases enough RECs to match 6% of their customers' electricity consumption, because that's all the state requires them to do. But Hero Power, again, purchases enough to match 100% of our customers' consumption, 15 times as much as ComEd, and offers the exact same rate to do so. After the RECs are purchased, only the organization that retires them can actually claim the environmental benefits from them. And this ensures that there isn't any double counting. So even if a wind farm produces wind electricity that's clean, they can't legally claim the environmental benefits of their power production if they sell their RECs. Only the entity that retires them gets, the ones that last have them can claim their benefits. And there's this whole process for retiring RECs that companies must follow in order to claim these benefits. And to make sure that all of this is happening as it should, there are organizations that monitor and audit renewable energy certificate markets to make sure that they're operating properly. Greene.org does just this. They are the global leader. To be Greene certified means you've met the highest possible standards for operating in the REC market, either as a buyer or as a seller. Greene, they audit the generators of clean energy, making sure that they're actually producing as much electricity as they're getting credited for with RECs. Greene also audits the buyers of these RECs to make sure that they're buying RECs from certified generators, that they're retiring them properly. Greene ensures that RECs are unique, that the benefits of a megawatt hour of renewable energy can only be claimed by one entity. And to sell energy that's matched with RECs, like Hero Power does, you also have to meet their very strict marketing guidelines, which basically means you have to tell your customers or potential customers exactly what it is they're buying when they're buying renewable energy certificates. And it's not that the electricity itself is any different. It's just that the supplier is purchasing RECs on the customer's behalf. And believe it or not, this truth in advertising part is pretty tricky for many electricity suppliers. And it's a big reason why there aren't many companies that are Green E certified. There's actually only 3 in all of Illinois, and Hero Power is one of them. So if you're currently with an electricity supplier, be sure to check to see if they're Green E certified. The biggest energy companies that offer clean energy in Illinois are not Green E certified. So if you're with Green Mountain or if you're with Clean Choice Energy, you're not paying for Green E certified renewable energy certificates. And if your RECs aren't Green E certified, you really can't be confident in what you're purchasing. And that's really the reason why Hero Power got its Green E certification immediately. We want our customers to be confident that their money is going to support renewable energy and to know that we are holding ourselves to the highest standards possible. And you know, in 2020 alone, Hero Power customers have funded over 300,000 kilowatt hours of Green E certified renewable energy certificates. And all that money goes to Osage Wind Farm, pictured right here again. And of course, we'd love for you to join Hero Power and help support more wind energy without paying any extra for it. And this always the same rate as ComEd, but 100% of your electricity consumption is matched with renewable energy certificates instead of just 6% if you stay with ComEd. And if you join our clean energy program now, you can be one of the first to be a part of phase 2 of Hero Power's business model, and we call that Solar Share. Now, think of Solar Share like the Airbnb for solar energy. But instead of renting out your home to vacationing strangers, you rent out your roof to people that want to support solar energy but don't have access to a sunny roof themselves. Now, that might sound strange at first, but if anyone here is familiar with community solar, Solar Share is similar to that concept, but instead of solar panels being installed out in a field in the middle of nowhere, they're installed on the rooftops of Hero Power Clean Energy Program customers. Now, that part's important. You must be a Clean Energy Program customer in order to get free solar panels installed through this program. And if your home is eligible, we will install the solar panels at no cost to you. No upfront cost, no monthly cost, no maintenance cost. For as long as you're a Hero Power customer, you won't have to pay anything if you get solar panels installed through our Solar Share program. The money for the solar panels actually comes from Solar Share members from across the country. Anyone in the United States can be a Hero Power Solar Share member. And for as little as $5 per month, they can own a share of the power generated from your roof. And every month, even though you aren't paying for the solar panels, 10% of the solar power generated by the panels on your roof will be credited off your Hero Power bill. So if you use, let's say, 1,000 kilowatt hours in April and your solar panels generated 500 kilowatt hours of electricity, then 10% or 50 kilowatt hours will be taken off your Hero Power bill. So your Hero Power bill will only be for 950 kilowatt hours instead of for the full 1,000. So again, you're not going to be charged for the solar panels, and they actually generate a credit on your bill every month. Now, of course, the credit would be higher if you own the panels and you paid for them yourself, but under this program, you don't own the panels and you don't pay for them. You're just supporting more clean energy by basically making your roof a solar generator. And the other 90% of that solar power generated by your panels goes to the Solar Share members that are funding the monthly lease payments for your panels. So Solar Share members, they earn points based on how much electricity is generated by your panels, and those points can be redeemed for energy efficient products such as light bulbs, smart thermostats, advanced power strips. So for just $5 a month, Solar Share members are supporting more solar energy and getting rewards that'll help them lower their own energy use. So as you can see, Solar Share builds on both the customer base and the principles of Hero Power's Clean Energy Program. a mix of supporting more renewable energy and making homes more energy efficient to help us transition to 100% renewable energy faster. And as I mentioned before, we need this large customer base so we can support all of the SolarShare members across the country that want to fund these solar rooftops. And look, you can be a Hero Power Clean Energy Program customer and be a SolarShare member. You don't have to just add the solar to on top of your roof to get the benefits of the program. You can actually just sign up to be a SolarShare member if you live in a condo or apartment or a house that doesn't get great sun, and you too can earn the benefits of someone else's solar rooftop. And then, SolarShare is just the next phase in our journey, in Hero Power's journey, to build a totally decentralized renewable energy company. As we expand Hero Power's clean energy program to more states where people can choose their electricity supplier, we plan on using all sorts of new technologies to make it even easier and more affordable to power your life with renewable energy. So we would love it if you joined us now and helped us achieve our goals even faster. As Melissa said in the beginning, we have partnered with 350 Chicago, and this partnership means that for any 350 Chicago member that joins Hero Power, we will give the member a $25 credit off their first bill with Hero Power, and we will also donate $25 to 350 Chicago. So you're getting this double bonus, triple bonus, really. You get to save money, you get to support more renewable energy, and you get to support 350 Chicago, which are all great things. So I love it if you went to myheropower.com/350 and signed up and joined the Hero Power community. And Melissa, I'd love to open this up for questions.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for the presentation. Definitely learned a lot myself. So as a reminder, you will now have the ability to take yourself off mute if you would like to ask a question. So feel free to do that, and I will moderate any questions that come in through the chat. So I'll start there because we already have one. So Ty and Brock, is the current pandemic economy affecting your implementation of phase 2?
It is. So we actually had another program that we are going to roll out with nonprofit organizations to help them save money by generating solar energy. And that program was put on hold as a result of the pandemic because, it is hard. It's very difficult to have these face-to-face conversations. And so that was put on hold. Now, we are still moving forward with the residential SolarShare program. We have lots of Hero Power customers that have signed up to put the solar panels on their roof. So these are customers that, have already have the trust in Hero Power to do this. So, yes, the pandemic and the quarantine has slowed things down, but we're still definitely moving forward with our implementation of phase 2.
And actually, while we're on that topic, I have a clarifying question about phase 2. So are there 2 ways to participate? So you can either put solar panels on your roof, or you can give $5 a month.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Okay. How would you sign up if you wanted to do this, give $5?
Sure. So you go to, and thank you, Melissa, for asking, because I should have said that. So you can just go to myheropower.com/solar. And there, it's very easy. You just give us your email address, and then you'll be matched to a project. And once that project goes live, then we'll ask you for your $5. You don't have to pay anything up front. You won't pay anything until that project actually starts. So myheropower.com/solar. And you can be a SolarShare member and a Hero Power customer, or a Hero Power Clean Energy Program customer, or you can be one or the other. So,
okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to kind of step in there, because I think I'm going to step on someone's question about community solar, but to build off the question about how Hero Power is being affected during this pandemic, we're hoping that we know everyone's being affected by the pandemic. So that obviously hurts someone's, maybe their ability financially to go ahead and make the decision in the multi-year, multi-decade commitment to put solar panels on their roofs. Well, if someone says, well, you know, right now it's not in the cards to put solar panels on my roof, but I can pay $5 a month and know that I can cancel anytime if my financial situation changes. But I can put $5 a month into solar energy, so I know that I'm generating benefits and I'm getting that impact report every week that shows how much clean energy I'm actually funding, and then I'm getting benefits in return. So I'm getting those energy efficiency rewards that are going to help me save hundreds of dollars over the time, more, you know, in addition to what I'm putting in and getting those benefits, right? And this is kind of where it's different than community solar. Community solar is amazing, don't get me wrong, but where this is different is with community solar is residential solar is building solar on roofs, right? Roofs that already exist. The one kind of downside of community solar is obviously you have to have land to put those solar panels on that, you know, otherwise would just be land. And we can put solar panels on residential roofs. That's a great use of space. The other thing, as I mentioned, is you can cancel anytime. If you're opting into a community solar program, often there's an upfront fee or something that you have to pay into for a multi-year commitment. Solar panels are obviously a multi-year commitment. With Solar Share, you can cancel anytime. You can put in $5 and say, that's all I'm going to do. It's just a nice way to kind of fund more renewable energy at what works with your budget.
Excellent, thank you. Is there a contract to join and penalties for breaking a contract?
So there's a contract that you must sign to become a Hero Power customer. Basically tell ComEd that Hero Power is going to take over your electricity supply. Our contracts are month to month. There are no penalties for breaking the contract. It's super easy to cancel your Hero Power membership. We make it's a one-click cancel on our website or our mobile app. We have very few people that cancel their Hero Power Clean Energy Program contract, but there's definitely no penalty. We won't charge you anything if you have to move or for whatever reason decide to go back to ComEd or switch suppliers.
And that's honestly, I'll just be frank, it's just not the case with everyone else.
Right.
And the reason it's not the case is, most often the price is different. So, and the price is higher.
Right.
And the other, we know, frankly, the people that join Hero Power are people that are climate concerned and want to do something for the environment, because obviously your bill doesn't change, your service doesn't change. That's why we'll put it at month to month and cancel anytime with no cost to cancel, because we know people are going to love it. And we know that they know they're making a difference.
Yeah, and I think, Brock, you did touch on this, but just wondering if there's anything else to add to how is Hero Power different from and better than community solar, which I don't entirely understand.
Ty, did you want to add to that? Because don't get me wrong, like community solar is wonderful, but again, the other thing I mentioned about community solar is you often have to live within a certain region or have a certain utility. With Solar Share, you can live anywhere in the United States, so that does add an additional benefit as well. It's not location specific. It's not Solar Share. It's not a long-term commitment. And with residential solar, obviously, you're utilizing existing space to generate more renewable energy, which is just, it's key. It's how we're going to help close this clean energy gap that we have.
Right. And the other thing, and I will just say this gets a little wonky, but with community solar, those fields are far away from the city. And it requires the installation or the building of new long distance transmission lines to get out there. And with residential solar, you just don't have that because it's in the city or it's in the suburbs. It's right there. It can be built upon the existing infrastructure. So that's just another more wonky benefit to residential solar. But like Brock said, community solar is great. If you want to do that, that's fine. But we believe this residential program is better.
Great.
And go ahead. Sorry.
No, if you want to add more, that's fine.
It's very weird because I'm moving in slow motion over here. This is the internet during the pandemic. This is, again, I think it's Hero Power wanted to create an option, and we wanted to create a way for people to try this out, to learn more about it, and then find what their level of commitment was going to look like. And I think that that's one really cool thing. If you can sign up for Solar Share now, get on that pre-launch list, try it out for a month, 2 months, see how you like it, get those impact rewards, see what kind of difference you're making, and then it is on Hero Power to show you how valuable this is. So I think it's a really cool way to do something without having to sign a long-term contract or make a multi-year commitment.
Yep, definitely. Who installs the panels for phase 2? And a little bit more to this question was, thinking of Blacks and Greens, who is promoting and training young people who might otherwise be unemployed on the South Side.
Yeah. Also, Naomi Davis was on the live show with us, with
Awesome.
you, Melissa, right?
She's great. Yeah.
She's fantastic. So we have all sorts of solar partners, solar panel installation companies that are going to partner with us for this program. We're actually working with a solar installer here in Illinois who's trying to do this, but we would love to kind of build out the local solar installers. But that's really, we're not doing the installation ourselves. We're working with solar partners, solar panel companies that will do this, that will partner with us for this.
Okay. And to let everyone know, we're recording this presentation and we will make it available. So you will have access to go back and look at slides and hear about questions. But also, Ty and Brock, would you be willing to share like a PDF version?
Of course. Yep.
Okay.
Of course.
Great. Okay, so there's a lot of questions in here, so I might break it up a little bit. How many Hero Power members do you currently have?
So we launched in November of 2019. So 5 months ago, we've got a little over 400 customers that have signed up so far. Where's our membership growing the fastest? All over the place. I mean, we've got people in the city and the suburbs. We've got customers all over the place. We are just in Northern Illinois right now. The Clean Energy Program launched just in Northern Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you explain how you've worked with, or have you worked with condo associations?
Mm-hmm. So if you live in a condo, you can still be a Hero Power customer. It doesn't matter if you're, it does not matter if other people in the condo, aren't Hero Power customers. If you pay a ComEd bill, if you are responsible for your own bill, then you can switch your supplier to Hero Power. Because remember, nothing physically changes when you join Hero Power. It's just that now you pay ComEd, ComEd pays Hero Power pays a wind farm. So we have worked with condo associations. Some condo, I can tell you, one condo has signed up for Hero Power, basically to give to supply the common areas with the renewable energy supply from Hero Power. But and then what we'll also do for condo associations is we will give the condo association, similar to what we've done with 350 here, $25 for any of their members or the people that live in that condo that sign up, and then they can use that for for improvements to the building or whatever that they'd like. But if you want to pitch this to your condo association, send an email to us. Send it to either Ty at MyHeroPower or Brock at MyHeroPower.com, and we'd love to talk to you and your condo association about getting more people to support clean energy with Hero Power.
Yeah, renter, homeowner, business owner, it doesn't matter. If you're paying that ComEd bill, you can all get a 100% renewable energy match.
Great. Are solar panels transferable to purchasers of homes?
Yes. So if you sell your house, then the company, and this is the exact same as other solar leases. You can transfer that lease. The solar installers have been doing this for years, so they've got this down. There's the process for this, but they'll help you easily transfer that to the next homeowner. And then the next homeowner has lots of choices of what they want to do. They want to keep the lease and the free Hero Power Solar Share program option. Do they want to take over the lease payments themselves and they don't want to be part of Solar Share? Do they want to buy the solar panels outright from the installation company? Or do they have some weird aversion to solar panels and they just want to take them off the roof? They can do that too. But that whole process is handled by the our solar partners, and it's super simple at this point.
So even if Michael Moore buys your house, we can still figure it out.
Yeah.
Good one.
But actually, it's shown on average, homes go up pretty significantly in value just by having solar panels on their house. So it's just a nice thing.
I mean, I think they're cool looking, but so many people want solar panels, they just don't want to go to the effort, that like the time it takes to learn about them and to choose the suppliers, and to actually, you know, go through that process of getting them installed. So once you have it on your home, someone sees, oh, this home already has that, and I don't have to deal with that. It does increase the home's value. So that's another benefit, but the real benefit is you're supporting more renewable energy.
And you let Hero Power do the work for you.
Yeah.
Nice. Has the Osage wind farm expanded from RECs?
So the RECs that we purchase are for the wind product. So they also have solar RECs. We purchased their wind, and they haven't built new wind turbines recently, but they rely on they basically, when they decided to build the current wind turbines, the one they have now, they needed that, they counted on that long-term revenue stream for these renewable energy certificates. So we're basically now paying for the renewable energy certificates that the existing wind turbines generate, and they needed that. They need that to be profitable.
Yeah, and I think that is a key point, Ty, because there are so many renewable energy certificates out there that need to be retired, because if they're not retired, then that sends basically a price signal that says renewable energy isn't as valuable to the developer as it could be. So as we buy more of those certificates, again, it's just sending that positive economic signal to say, hey, people who can develop renewable energy, do this now because it's a great financial investment, and especially that we can do it at no extra cost to the consumer. It's just a no-brainer.
Exactly. Yep.
So I'm still trying to understand RECs, but does it make sense to think of it as like so you had said to make them profitable, but is it also like trying to get them out of debt, since they might have relied on?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, these wind turbines cost $3 to $4 million each to build, which is amazing. When you drive through some of these fields, like in Southern Illinois or Northern Indiana, and you see the hundreds of wind turbines around, you just realize how much money was spent to build those things. But yeah, I mean, they basically they look at the, discounted cash flow, future cash flows from both the electricity that they sell and these renewable energy certificates, because they're actually two separate things. And the combination of the two is what makes them profitable, what allows them to pay down their debt.
Okay.
And that's again why it's so essential that we're Green E certified, because that the developer is not double counting the renewable energy certificate. We're paying them literally for exactly what they are producing, so that incentivizes more production.
Yep.
Okay, great. So Renita, if I'm saying your name correctly, said that she signed up for community solar. Can she also then add to do the solar share with My Hero Power?
You can. You definitely can. So if you're, you don't have to be a My Hero Power clean energy program customer to be a solar share customer. So you could live in Illinois. Let's say you're on ComEd's community solar program, and you don't want to switch off of that, or you can't switch away from that, and you still want to do more, you want to support more solar, then you can definitely go to myheropower.com/solar and sign up for the solar share program.
Great. So I think, hi Carla, nice to see that you're here. She used to be part of 350, but she moved to Brazil. So cool that you're joining us. But I think you already mentioned she wondered if it was only available in Illinois, and you said you're just in Northern Illinois right now.
We are. I would love to be available in Brazil, but not yet. It hopefully will be coming, but right now, yes, the clean energy program is only available in Illinois.
Okay. And actually, she said she's in Georgia right now because of Corona. So
well, there you go. So you can definitely sign up for solar share. Right.
So Frank said that he already signed up and confirmed his email. What happens next?
So what happens next is ComEd will switch your supply over from ComEd to Hero Power, and that takes it takes about 17 days to do. So if you're let's say you're 18 days away from your next bill cycle, then on that bill cycle, Hero Power will take over your supply. And at the end of that month, you'll get a bill from ComEd that has two charges, basically your transmission and distribution charges, which will be from ComEd, and then your Hero Power or your electricity supply charge, which will be from Hero Power. So you just pay your bill and that's it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to, you don't have to pay Hero Power directly or anything like that. But let's say you're 4 days away from your next bill cycle. And then that just means that you won't be switched over to Hero Power until the following bill cycle. So it might be 45 days or so until you're Hero Power supply customer. And you'll get emails from Hero Power every week, regardless of whether your supply service has started or not. We will let you know when, once ComEd lets us know, we'll let you know when your service is going to actually start. But you can take advantage of all the Hero Power other features from the app that I described earlier. You can get all these user-specific tips on how to become more energy efficient. You can read the articles. And when you do those things, you actually earn points. And those points can be then redeemed for credits off your Hero Power bill. So you can get started, you can get a head start on that right now before your actual supply service starts. So yeah, that's what happens next.
Yeah, and I actually switched over just like a couple weeks ago and already got my letter from ComEd, and then had Veridian, my previous supplier, call me already. So, okay. So does Hero Power work with electric suppliers besides ComEd, and what does retired mean? I think you touched on that in the presentation, but maybe if you could go over it again.
Yep. So right now, Hero Power is just in ComEd territory. So we did that on purpose. We wanted to launch locally. We wanted to launch in one market to kind of test our business model out. Our company raised money last year to do this test. We're in the process of fundraising again. Now we've proven out our business model. So we are going to expand to more utilities, more territories in those states where you can choose your electricity supplier, which is only about 13 states, but it's still about half the population of America is in one of these choice states. So right now we're just, the clean energy program is just in ComEd territory. But as I've said several times, Solar Share is available to anyone in the US. So right now the clean energy program just in ComEd territory. And then retired means that basically no one else can use or claim the benefits for the renewable energy certificates, because really the renewable energy certificates are just they're a claim to the environmental benefits of the energy that's produced. And to retire them, go through this process of retiring these RECs, it just means that no one else after you or before you can claim these benefits. It's that uniqueness of the RECs that's important, because if anyone, if you, let's say we bought a REC and then we said, oh, our customers are purchasing these renewable energy certificates and we're selling renewable energy, but then we sold the REC to somebody else and then they claim the benefits, well, that's double counting. It really dilutes the value of the RECs. But by retiring them, it means no one else can claim that value, and it means that the environmental benefits being claimed are actually being produced by that renewable energy generator.
And shout out to John for answering that in the chat much more succinctly.
And if I'm understanding correctly, wouldn't we need to continue creating new RECs to increase the overall production?
Yes, for sure. And
again, it's that incentive, right?
Exactly. Yep. And we need to keep producing them, and we need to keep buying them so that there's the incentive to produce them. Okay,
great. And then Frank's question, is there a way to view the supplier of the energy on your ComEd bill? And actually, yeah, there's a section on supply, and it tells you who.
Yep. If you've never switched, if you've never answered the door when those creepy guys come knocking, then you're most likely a ComEd customer, and ComEd provides the supply portion of your bill as well. But there is, if you look at your bill, there's a breakdown. There's transmission and distribution on one side, and then supply on the other side.
Okay.
And again, that's why it's so easy, is that's literally all the change that you will notice. Your bill, you will still pay the same rate, no extra cost, but you will see Hero Power on that supply line. That's the only change that you will see, but you have the ability to then go and use all the benefits that Hero Power customers have with the energy efficiency apps and rewards. And what that means is Hero Power, also the third part is Hero Power is going to go to work for you and go from that 6% match that you have right now, increase it 15 times to 100% match. But that's it. That's all that changes.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, a quick time check. So we're at 10:53. So we'll do this last question from Amanda, and then I want to share a little bit more about how to get involved with 350, how to contact us and different committees and things. So from Amanda, how do Ty and Brock you feel about, either as individuals or Hero Power reps, about initiatives like Clean Energy Jobs Act and the Green New Deal? Are you hopeful that legislation like this could help bring clean energy rebound post-COVID?
We love it.
Yeah,
we love it.
When we need it, like clearly.
Yes.
Clearly we need it. And as Ty mentioned in his presentation, sorry, I get very passionate about this, but as Ty mentioned in his presentation, this is how it's been successful in the past. We put in the stimulus bill in 2009, $90 billion toward clean energy. That meant hundreds of thousands of jobs in all 50 states. This is entry-level jobs. These are blue-collar construction jobs. This is executive-level jobs. This is Tesla doesn't exist today without that bill. It is, I mean, it is remarkably important. So CEJA, the Green New Deal, we couldn't be in more support of getting, of having a just, equitable transition to renewable energy that creates more jobs, empowers the economy. I mean, my goodness, this is a great way to get us out of this economic downturn that we're experiencing because of the pandemic.
All right, I like it. Thank you guys so much for your presentation. It was so interesting. I know I personally learned a lot and I'm really motivated by the work that you guys are doing. So thank you so much for sharing.
Well, thank you so much for having us on it. We love partnering with 350.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah. So just a little bit more about 350. So we are categorized into different committees. So along with doing the campaign work that I mentioned in the beginning about fossil fuel divestment, renewable energy, we also have to do work within our group as a team. And so we've divided into different committees. So one is the education committee, which myself and Frank, who's on, Bo is on, Ray, some of us from 350 are part of that education committee. And so we help plan these monthly meetings. Who do we want to hear from? Facilitating the meeting. And then we also plan different events like group discussions. So everyone reads certain articles. We come together to talk about them, film screenings. So if you're interested on the education committee, I can help you get involved there. We also have a research committee. So they do things like put together our newsletter, create white papers on the state of EVs, for example, renewable energy. And we use all of that information to bring to legislators to help them just give more fuel to the fire for the reasons that we need to move our campaign work forward. We also have a communications committee, so they do social media posting, our website, the listserv, so the emails that go out to everyone. So we have communications if you're interested in that. There's also fundraising. So as I mentioned before, we are in the process of becoming a nonprofit. We just have one more piece of paperwork to file with the federal government. So we need to start raising funds. And so if you're interested in starting on our fundraising, we would really appreciate that. So if any of those committees sound of interest to you, feel free to email me at info@350chicago.org. I'll also put it in the chat. You can also get a hold of us through Facebook, Meetup, on our website. So we'd love to have you get involved with 350 Chicago, and thank you for joining us this morning. And if anyone has any other questions about 350, I can take those in the next few minutes, but otherwise we can wrap up. So thanks, everyone. Okay, where will we find the recording? So Jerry, I think we'll email it out and post it to the website. Is that correct?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, great. And then also the slides. So Ty or Brock, if you could send those to Jerry, we'll also post that on our website.
Great. I'll send them right after the call.
Okay, great, thanks. And lots of thanks. So it seems
Yeah.
like you enjoyed it.
Hey guys, I just like to add one note. If you didn't see the conversation that Larry and I had a week ago, there was a mention of Larry needing to do a TikTok dance. If you guys hit your next fundraising goal, I want to make sure the entire group knows about that and that we keep Larry accountable, because
Yes.
he pretty much agreed to it on that call. So I'm going to do everything in my power to promote Larry getting on TikTok. I think it's really an important, I think we may add that to the Hero Power mission and values.
Considering he shaved his head, I feel like a TikTok dance would be pretty low bar compared to that. So. I think he'll do it.
All right, yeah, I'm in.
There he is.
I'll do it.
Nice. Oh, well, it looks like we're right almost at 11. So Jerry, do you think we're good to wrap it up, or?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here.
Okay,
Great.
great.